All right.
Not too bad.
Welcome to Why There Are Words, which is actually a national neighborhood of writers based in Sausalito, California, with branches in Pittsburgh, Portland, LA, New York City, New Orleans, Minneapolis, and Austin. And I'm the curator, I guess you'd call me. I'm a writer, but I'm also, I choose who comes. And this is the best part of this being a curator, is that I get to tap people that I know, people that I don't know, musicians in Austin. I'm the only one in the Why There Are Words entourage that has a musician come, because this is Austin and we just have to do it this way, right? And people seem to like that mix. So Carrie was not able to be with us, so I'm going to read actually a couple of her poems to start, and then we'll have Tomas, and followed by Sarah Bird, and then Eliza. We'll go straight through without a break. So the bathroom is back there if you need it. The door, well, you can't leave, so we'll just lock the door. And I'm just so grateful for Malvern Books, for being the kind of bookstore that is heroically forging ahead in this day and age when nobody seems to read. And these books are very special because they're from small presses, and you're not going to find them necessarily in, probably not in Book People, and they're definitely not in Barnes & Noble, so have a look before you go. Carrie Fountain is the author of 2 poetry collections, Burn Lake, a National Poetry Series winner, and Instant winner, both published by Penguin. Her debut novel, I'm Not Missing, was published in 2018 by Flatiron Books. She was born and raised in New Mexico and got her MFA from the Michener Center for Writers at University of Texas, where she's currently a visiting professor. Isn't that funny how that works? There's a door, you go out and then you come back in, and maybe in the interim you get to be at the Dobie Paisano Ranch, before you come back and teach. She's writer in residence at St. Edward's University and the host of NPR's This Is Just to Say, a radio show and podcast where she has intimate conversations with America's most influential poets. She lives in Austin with her husband, playwright and novelist Kirk Lynn, and their 2 children. I have not read her before, but I picked a couple just because I thought she ought to be represented here today. I wish I had a guru. I want a bad one, the kind who takes all the measly particulars of life and works them into one simple messed up thing. A wad of gum a child is forced to spit into her mother's upturned palm before entering the public library. A cloud far off emitting a song you can almost place, but can't place. Was that song playing the night I drove myself to the emergency room? I wish I could be brainwashed, because brainwashing sounds great, like the feeling you get when you stand up too quickly and sense you're going to faint, but know in the same instant that you're not going to faint. That feeling, like standing next to yourself, like starting all over again in white, legs shaved, hair cleanly parted, like sound check, 1, 2, 1, 2, until your soiled, crying life sees you through the crowd and rushes to you, reaching you just as you're pushing through the emergency exit, just as the alarm bells go off stingingly, grabbing hold of your thigh, claiming you, so that you understand suddenly, and only for an instant, that you are one being inside one body, sealed, exquisite, animate, and that you were made from others and came from a far unseeable place, a source that cannot be traced, and that you will continue to take what you were handed and run. You will run as far and as fast as you can with whatever breath you have, right up until the end. That feeling. It's like sliding your 2 hands beneath the whole frosted cake of your life, lifting it carefully from the platter and shoving it into your face the whole time, saying, oh, now this is really a bad idea. Okay. Instant winner. Great. I've been wanting for a while to live my real life again, driving to work each morning, seeing the billboards growing up so fast, the egg sandwich dripping its triangles of cheese, the beer bottles sweating heavily under blue lights, seeing that the city has suddenly been built up on both sides, right to the very lip of the interstate. I've been wanting to live my life again as I switch lanes in the whir at the very center of traffic. I've been wanting to live my life again, stepping into the parking lot, stopping at Target for bananas and diapers and trash bags and diapers and ibuprofen and walking from classroom to office to meeting, my phone in my pocket, always ready for my real life to call, to say, is this Carrie Fountain? To say, I found you, finally, and I have some big news. Okay, and one more. Hottest summer on record for Susanna Benson. Oh, by the way, the theme I picked for this is Walk on the Wild Side. I'm thinking again about the night we should have died. 15 in the back seat of an egg-shaped car, as those feral boys started yelling, balls out, to the driver who gripped the wheel and locked his elbows and drove faster and faster until it felt like there was nothing between us and the end but the soft shoulder of the road and the constellations of mosquitoes over the ditch, the night reflected in the still water there, murky with pesticides. Then less, just flesh on metal, metal on air, then less, until it felt like we could die of speed alone, evaporate, poof, sucked back into the holes our insignificant histories had made in the earth, so that no one would ever find a trace of us, not a spot of blood or a point of impact, no dust or smoke or skid marks. Maybe then we'd never have existed at all. Oh, how many times did I take my dumb life in my hands and shove it down deep between my thighs so no one would see it? And how many times did I give it away, push it over, burying everything, daring the night to take it away? Hard to tell. How many real deaths we escaped to make it. To tonight, talking on the phone while I sit on the porch with the baby asleep in my arms, watching the dog chase the cat. Then, surprise, they switch. So now it's the cat chasing the dog, and oh, he's gaining on her.